Hey, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. We're continuing in the western area, where I'm decorating at least the exit section of the Gears of Fear attraction. Yes, it all still looks a bit odd and kind of empty, but definitely not as bare as before. In the first room, I'm creating a sort of kitchen area with a small fire pit for cooking or grilling. As a grill grate, I'm repurposing a fence piece by placing it over the fire bowl. Here in the second room, I'm designing a kind of dormitory with separated sections and implied beds. For this, I used the truck flatbed asset, which I embedded into the ground. Straw serves as a mattress substitute, and on top of that I placed the animatronic cowboys. In the last, or rather first room of the exit area, the barrels inspired me to suggest a small bar here, though right now it's still looking quite empty. Before moving on to other things, I'm lowering the ceiling height quite a bit since it's unrealistically high. The ceiling also visually glitches out of the walls in some spots, so I need to adjust its position to eliminate those visual errors. And now you can see that process here, sped up by a factor of 10. Every normal theme park has this. Mine didn't until now. Path signage. Yes, I've labeled attractions, but I haven't indicated which path leads where. And even though my park layout is very straightforward and linear, signs are still a helpful addition, especially considering that I've designed this park to be more open than usual. It's almost nostalgic being back in the very first themed area of this park. Back then, 2.5 years ago to be exact, the first episode of this project was released on February 27th, 2023. That's quite a long time, and I still remember building all of this like it was just yesterday. What I also find interesting is that this season compared to the first one is 2.9, so almost 3 times longer in terms of episode count, which shows that back then the whole thing took almost a year. Plus, I used to upload videos every 3 days. I honestly have no idea how I managed that. That's actually the reason why, nowadays, I only upload on Sundays. I simply don't have the time anymore. I remember when I started, I could finish a full video in just 2 days, including recording, editing, and uploading. Back then, I also still had time for other things. At some point, I just couldn't keep up anymore. Instead of randomly uploading every 3 days, I switched to fixed upload days, every Wednesday and Sunday. But even that became too much eventually. I was spending nearly all my time editing videos, barely having time for anything else. That's why I now stick to just uploading on Sundays, because I honestly can't keep up anymore. It's as if time itself has sped up. Now, the signage is also being added in the large sci-fi spaceship area, because especially there, the paths are a bit winding and the attractions aren't labeled. Yes, the signs might look a bit odd here in the sci-fi area, kind of oversized, but since it's a sci-fi setting, I wanted to create something that feels more fitting for the theme, though I have to admit it might come across as a little out of place. Still, not enough to feel completely misplaced.